जय गोपी जनवल्लभा जय गिरिवरधारी जय गिरिवरधारी। यशोदानन्दन व्रजजन रञ्जन यशोदानन्दन व्रजजन रञ्जन यशोदानन्दन व्रजजन रञ्जन यमुनातीरवनचारी यमुनातीरवनचारी जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव राधा माधव राधे जय पंचतत्व जय पंचतत्व पंचतत्व जय पंचतत्व जय प्रह्लाद नरसिंह जय प्रह्लाद नरसिंह प्रह्लाद नरसिंह जय प्रह्लाद नरसिंह जय जगन्नाथ जय जगन्नाथ जय बलदेवा जय सुभद्रा जय जगन्नाथ जय जगन्नाथ जय बलदेवा जय सुभद्रा Jai Jagannath, Jai Jagannath, Jaya Baladeva, Jaya Subhadra. Jagannath Swami Nayana Pathagami, Nayana Pathagami Bhavatu me. Jagannath Swami Nayana Pathagami, Nayana Pathagami Bhavatu me. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. श्री राधा माधव अष्टसखी वृंद श्रीमन महाप्रभु की जय, श्री श्री पंचतत्व की जय, श्री प्रहलाद नरसिंहदेव भगवान की जय, श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा महारानी की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, परित पावन गुरु महाराज की जय, समवेत भक्त वृंद की जय, निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। Okay. So on the occasion of Gundicha Marjan, then we will be reading from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. We'll be hearing some pastimes of Lord Jagannath, and let's see how far we go. We are also being asked to end the class a bit early, since there is a program for Lord Jagannath in Rajapur starting at 9 o'clock. One thing is very interesting that we see in our sampradaya. It's a very interesting sampradaya. We are worshipping a God who is sick at the moment. Jagannath is a very interesting person, very interesting. Yeah. He is sick. Then Jagannath is the only deity where the big deities, right, the main deity of the temple goes outside the temple. Nowhere else we see this. Everywhere else the small deities, they go. We see Radha Madhava has a very small deities that go on the elephant. Then we have the little bigger deities that go, for abhisheks, for processions. It's almost impossible to take the big deity out. Right? But Jagannath is the big deity. He goes out. Then Jagannath also gets, he gets slightly drunk. Right? He gets inspired and by some devotees. He leaves the temple and goes away. He gets insulted by his own pujaris. So far that they even use bad words on him, talk about his mother, his sister, like nasty words. But all this thing happened, he still loves his devotees. Loves his devotees. Today we have a festival of cleaning. Where do we hear a festival for cleaning? We don't see this. So our sampradaya, our Lord, is very, very special. Very, very unique. Right? If you tell somebody, oh, today is a festival. What's the festival? We are going to clean the entire city. People will think you people are, you have a festival on that. It was started by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So it's there in the 12th chapter in Madhya Leela. The cleaning of the Gundicha temple. We'll just read through because there are lots of verses. And it's something very nice to read today as it's talking about the importance or how it started today. So we are reading from text 70. Some of the prominent devotees like Advaita Acharya used to invite Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to take his meals at their homes. The Lord accepted such invitations accompanied by his devotees. In this way, the Lord passed some days in great jubilation. Then the car festival of the Lord Jagannath approached. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu first called for Kashi Mishra, then for the superintendent of the temple, then for Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. When these three people came before the Lord, he begged them for permission to wash the temple known as Gundicha. Right? Even though he's a Supreme Personality of Godhead, one of the things he loves doing is following the rules and regulations. That's one of the 64 qualities of Lord. It says he follows the rules of the Veda. Even though he himself is the Veda, he made the rules of the Veda. Of course, many times as Krishna, he doesn't mind breaking them. When it comes to protecting his devotees, when it comes to having interaction with with his devotees, when he's supposed to have loving association with his devotees, rules don't matter. Right? So then he invited them all and he's begging for permission to wash the temple known as Gundicha. Upon hearing the Lord's request for permission to wash the Gundicha temple, the Padicha, the superintendent of the temple, said, "My dear sir, we are all your servants. Whatever you desire is our duty to perform. The king gave a special order for me to do without delay whatever your lordship orders. My dear Lord, washing the temple is not service befitting you. Nonetheless, if you wish to do so, it is to be accepted as one of your pastimes." Right? If a senior devotee grabs a broom, grabs a mop, or no, Prabhu, we will take care, we will do. You don't do this. No, it says desire to do it. No, you don't do. Sometimes sannyasis come to the altar. After they have performed the arati, they want to wipe the floor. And the puja is like, no, Prabhu, Maharaj, please, we will clean. Right? Because we think that it's a service not befitting them. They should always do something big service. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he always made a point that he will do services which are very, very menial. Right? He will serve prasadam to the devotees by his own hands. Others are like, no, Mahaprabhu, please, you don't do. No, I want to serve. He leads the kirtan. Here, he is the one leading the cleaning of the Gundicha temple. To wash the temple, you need many water pots and brooms. Therefore, order me. I can immediately bring all these things to you. As soon as the superintendent understood the desire of the Lord, he immediately delivered 100 new water pots and 100 brooms for sweeping the temple. We just read, whenever Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he wants to do something, he gets invited to somebody's place for prasad, he goes with his associates. So, The superintendent of the Jagannath temple is very intelligent. He says, if Mahaprabhu wants to do it, it's not going to be a less than 100 devotees following him to do so. So he got 100 brooms and 100 water pots. So at least arrangement for 200 devotees to serve. The next day, early in the morning, the Lord took his personal associates with him and with his own hands smeared sandalwood pulp on their bodies. Right? This is culture. When we are doing deity worship, we use the asana in the deity worship. What do? We worship the asana. Then we sit on the asana. We worship the bell. We worship the conch. We worship the archman. Right? All these things are worshipped. Why? Because they are going to be used in the service of the Lord. They are different personalities in the service of the Lord. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu worshipping the devotees. How? By smearing chandan on their bodies. He then gave each devotee a broom with his own hand, and taking all of them personally with him, the Lord went to Gundicha. In this way, the Lord and his associates went to cleanse the Gundicha temple. At first, they cleansed the temple with the brooms. The Lord cleansed everything inside the temple very nicely, including the ceiling. Right? Something that we don't see, we tend to forget. Right? And if you go to these big temples, the ceilings are very high. And so you walk in, even in this room, the ceiling is quite high. So when you walk in, you don't necessarily notice the ceiling. But for him, for Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, his worshipable Lord is coming. And he's going to sit in this place. So for him, it's so important. And the Lord will be sitting on the big asana, will be relaxing. Oh, nice fan, nice ceiling. So every minute detail Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is taking, so including the ceiling. He then took up the sitting place, simhasana, cleansed it, and again put it in its original place. Many times it happens, we clean the entire place so nicely. We don't move this. Right? We don't even take a swipe under the asana. No. Or if we do that, then we leave it somewhere else. We leave the broom somewhere else, the bucket somewhere else. Many times we had seen, when we used to clean every day in Gurukul, you sweep and wipe the whole floor very nicely and you leave the bucket there. Or you leave the pile of dirt over there. So 99.9% of the job was done. The place still looked dirty. Why? Because it's not set properly. Thus, the Lord and his companions cleansed and swept all the temple buildings, all of them, big and small, and finally cleansed the area between the temple and the Kirtan hall. Indeed, hundreds of devotees were engaged in cleansing all around the temple, and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was personally carrying out the operation just to instruct others. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu washed and cleansed the temple in great jubilation, chanting the holy name of Lord Krishna all the time. Similarly, all the devotees were also chanting and at the same time performing their respective duties. The entire beautiful body of the Lord was covered with dust and dirt. In this way, it became transcendently beautiful. At times, when cleansing the temple, the Lord shed tears, and in some places, he even cleansed with those tears. After this, the place where the deity's food was kept, Bhogamandir, was cleansed. Then the yard was cleansed, and then all the residential quarters, one after the other. So they did not just the temple, but everything around the temple, even the houses individually were cleansed. After Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu collected all the straw, dust, and grains of sand in one place, he gathered it all in his cloth and threw it outside. In his cloth, took it outside. Not a dustpan, not a rag, not a paper, in his own cloth. Why? Because of course it's dirt, it's garbage, it's dust, but it's from Krishna's temple. Even though it's garbage, it's within Krishna's temple, so it's sacred. So Mahaprabhu doesn't mind taking it in his own cloth And it says his body is transcendently beautiful. That's the difference between Krishna and us. When we are covered in dust and dirt, people don't like to look at us, right? But here it says he became transcendently beautiful. Following the examples of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all the devotees in great jubilation began to gather straw and dust with their own clothes and threw them outside the temple. Then the Lord then told the devotees, I can tell how much you labored and how well you have cleansed the temple simply by seeing all the straw and dust you have collected outside. And so probably there was a pile, right? Even though all the devotees collected dirt in one pile, the dirt collected by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was much greater. So you got hundreds of devotees, and then you got Mahaprabhu. After the inside of the temple was cleansed, the Lord again allotted areas for devotees to cleanse. The Lord then ordered everyone to cleanse the inside of the temple very perfectly by taking finer dust, straws, and grains of sand and throwing them outside. When you have stone temples, the flooring is not straight, and it has these minute little grooves. And sometimes you see this, dust, very, very fine. You don't even notice it, right? It's so fine, you don't even notice. You just walk by, it doesn't even feel on the feet. It's there in the grooves. But Mahaprabhu said, very perfectly. You have the word perfect, right? Which means absolute, right? Perfect. And then it says, very perfectly. So you have to be very, very careful. You're trying to take everything out. After Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and all the Vaishnavas cleansed the temple for the second time, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very happy to see the cleaning work. While the temple was being swept, about 100 men stood ready with filled water pots, and they simply awaited the Lord's order to throw the water from them. As soon as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu called for water, all the men immediately brought the 100 water pots, which were completely filled, and delivered them before the Lord. In this way, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu first washed the main temple and then thoroughly washed the ceiling, the walls, the floors, the sitting place, which means the simhasana, and everything else within the room. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself and his devotees began to throw water onto the ceiling. When this water fell, it washed the walls and the floor. Then Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu began to wash the sitting place of Lord Jagannath with his own hands, and all the devotees began to bring water to the Lord. All the devotees within the temple began to wash. Each one had a broom in his hand, and in this way they cleansed the temple of the Lord. Someone brought water to pour it into the hands of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and someone poured water on his lotus feet. The water that fell from the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was drunk by someone who hid himself. Someone else begged for that water, and another person was giving that water in charity. And Mahaprabhu has no idea what's going on. After the room was washed, the water was let out through an outlet, and it then flowed and filled the yard outside. The Lord mopped the room with his own clothes. He polished the throne with them also. In this way, all the rooms were cleaned with 100 water pots. After the rooms had been cleaned, the minds of the devotees were as clean as the room. Right? As it says, Chaito Darapana Marjanam. How do you clean the mirror of your heart? By doing dham seva, by cleaning the floor, by sweeping, by wiping, by doing menial services. Why? Because that's the time when you have for contemplation. You're sweeping, you're wiping. The way how you sweep, especially when you get the corners among the pillars, corners among, that triangle, that little, half an inch triangle is, the place where all the dirt just hides. So you have to take the broom, spin it around in circle, or do different ways to get all that dirt out. When you wipe, you take a rag, you just mop. Again, that 1 inch, 1.5 inch remains. You have to put your consciousness behind. Take a finger in the rag, and clean that corner. And as many corners, that many times you have to clean. You cannot do that unless you are sincere about cleaning. And when you are sincere about cleaning, then your heart is getting purified, because you are serving the temple of the Lord. So therefore, therefore it becomes very, very precise. It's very nicely clean. You can feel the difference. The atmosphere becomes different. You walk into the room which is clean, but not thoroughly clean, not very perfectly clean. And then when you enter the room, when it is very perfectly clean, it makes a difference. You feel the atmosphere has changed. So therefore it says, after all the rooms had been cleaned, the minds of the devotees were as clean as the rooms. When the temple was cleaned, it was purified, cool and pleasing, just as if the Lord's own pure mind had appeared. Since hundreds of men were engaged in bringing water from the lake, there was no place to stand on the banks. Consequently, someone began to draw water from a well. Everybody is inspired. So, those people who didn't get space on the bank of the lake, they say, okay, how can I clean? How can I clean? And they go, oh, I see a well. Okay. So somebody starts pulling out water from the well, filling it on the pots. Even the wells are getting used. Hundreds of devotees brought water in the pots. The hundreds took the empty pots away to fill them up again. With the exception of Nityananda Prabhu, Advaita Acharya, Swarup Damodar, Brahmananda Bharati and Paramananda Puri, everyone was engaged in filling the water pots and bringing them there. Many of the water pots were broken when people collided with one another, and hundreds of men had to bring new water pots to fill. Right? So 100 water pot we started with, then hundreds of water pots broke, then hundreds of men are bringing new water pots. So we are talking about quite a few hundreds of water pots used for service. Some people were filling the pots and others were washing the rooms, but everyone was engaged in chanting the holy name of Krishna and Hari. So this is important. What service you are doing, you are somewhere in assistance. And Mahaprabhu is cleaning the Simhasana, somebody is cleaning the floor, somebody is cleaning the temple hall outside, somebody is cleaning the yard outside, somebody the ceiling, the wall, the floor. They are doing, somebody is providing all this facility by bringing the water, bringing the broom, taking it away. But everybody is chanting the holy name of Krishna and Hari. One person begged for a water pot by chanting the holy name Krishna Krishna, and the other delivered a pot while chanting Krishna Krishna. Whenever anyone had to speak, he did so by uttering the holy name of Krishna. Consecutively, the holy name of Krishna began an indication for everyone who wanted something. Right? You need something, you just say Krishna Krishna, and the devotee on the other side, they know what you mean. Right? We also do this sometimes. So, Hare Krishna Prabhu, what does that mean? We are happy to see you, welcome. Hare Krishna Prabhu, okay, goodbye. Hare Krishna Prabhu, what have you done? Hare Krishna Prabhu. Like, what a guy. But, the name of Krishna indicates, and we understand this. Why? Because the feelings are there. You look at something, Hare Krishna Krishna. Oh, I need this broom. Oh, Krishna Krishna, take this broom. As Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was vibrating the holy names of Krishna in ecstatic love, he himself was performing work of hundreds of men. It appeared as though Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was cleansing and washing with 100 hands. He approached every devotee just to teach him how to work. When he saw someone doing nicely, the Lord praised him. But if he saw that someone was not working to his satisfaction, he immediately chastised that person, not bearing him any grudge. Right? It's an important point. He's instructing somebody to do it nicely, but he's not having any bad intentions or feelings about him. It's good. Okay, okay, not like this, Prabhu. Do it like this. The Lord would say, you have done well. Please teach this to others so that they may act in the same way. As soon as they heard Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu say this, everyone became ashamed. Thus the devotees began to work with great attention. They washed the Jagamohan area and then the place where the food was kept. All other places were also washed. In this way, the meeting place was washed, the entire yard, the raised sitting place, the kitchen, and every other room. Thus all places around the temple was thoroughly washed within and without. After everything was thoroughly washed, a Vaishnava from Bengal, who was very intelligent and simple, came and poured water on the lotus feet of the Lord. A simple person, poor guy. The Gaudiya Vaishnava then took that water and drank it himself. Seeing that, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu felt a little unhappy and was also outwardly angry. Although the Lord was certainly satisfied with him, he became angry externally in order to establish the etiquette of religious principles. The Lord then called for Swarup Damodar and told him, just see the behavior of your Bengali Vaishnavas. He himself is from here. So look at your Bengali Vaishnava. What is he doing? This person from Bengal has washed my feet within the temple of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Not only that, but he has drunk the water himself. Previously, they distributed it. So that apparently it's not an issue. But he drank it himself, and that's an issue. I now do not know what my destination is because of this offense. Indeed, your Bengali Vaishnava has greatly implicated me. At this point, Swarup Damodar Goswami caught the Gaudiya Vaishnava by the neck and giving him a little push, ejected him from the Gundicha Puri temple and made him stay outside. After Swarup Damodar Goswami returned within the temple, he requested Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to excuse that innocent person. This is a simple person, but very intelligent. He knows exactly what to do. He take the water, pour it on the Lord's hand, Charanamrita. After this incident, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very satisfied. He then asked all the devotees to sit down in two lines on both sides. The Lord then personally sat down in the middle and picked up all the kind of straws, grains of sand and dirty things. While Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was picking up the straws and grains of sand, he said, I shall gather everyone's collection and I shall ask whoever has collected less than all the others to pay a fine of sweet cakes and sweet rice. In this way, all the quarters of the Gundicha temple was completely cleansed and cleared. All quarters were cool and spotless, like everyone's cleansed and pacified mind. When the water from the different roofs was finally let out through the halls, it appeared as if new rivers were gushing out to meet the waters of the ocean. Outside the gateway of the temple, all the roads were also cleansed, and no one could tell exactly how this was done. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also cleansed the Narsimha temple inside and outside. Finally, he rested a few minutes and then began dancing. All around Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all the devotees performed congregational chanting. The Lord, just like a maddened lion, danced in the middle. As usual, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu danced, there were perspiration, trembling, fading, tears, jubilations, and roaring. Indeed, the tears from his eyes washed his body and those before him. In this way, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu washed the bodies of all the devotees with the tears from his eyes. The tears poured like the rains in the month of Shravana. The sky was filled with the great and loud chanting of Sankirtan, and the earth shook from the jumping and dancing of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu always liked the loud chanting of Swarup Damodar. Therefore, when Swarup Damodar sang, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu danced and jumped high in jubilation. The Lord thus chanted and danced for some time. finally, understanding the circumstances, he stopped. So this was the pastime of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who started the Kundicha temple, Marjan Seva, a few hundred years ago, 500 years ago. So this is an inspiration, and the etiquette, the method of how we should be serving Jagannath today, following in the footsteps of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and cleaning Gundicha. Very interestingly, as it so happens, we are sitting in Gundicha today. Right? Jagannath from Rajapur is going to come here. We the devotees of Mayapur Dham, we are responsible for welcoming Jagannath, serving Jagannath. And what is Gundicha? Gundicha is the king's wife. But for Jagannath, she is her aunt. Right? So when the child goes to the aunt's house, he gets very much pampered, right, by the aunt. So this is Gundicha. We are the servants of Gundicha. Jagannath is coming. We have made some ways of how we can serve him. But it's not just serving him. The serving should be on the level of pampering. Right? And we are all responsible for that, how to do it, how in the morning he's going to wake up, how we are going to feed him. He's an eating god. Right? One of the blessings that Indradyumna Maharaj received was that Jagannath's hands should not get dry. Right? So he eats, and before his hands are dry, he gets a second meal. Right? And before he finishes that, then he gets his third meal, and he gets his fourth meal. So, of course, the temple is going to do whatever they are going to do. But we are responsible. If we consider ourselves as the servants of Shri Shri Radha Madhava Panchatattva and Narsimhadev, then we are responsible to pamper Jagannath. How we are going to take care of him, how we are going to serve him, how clean we are going to maintain the entire Gundicha premises, which is the entire, the inside the gates of ISKCON Mayapur. How we are going to do it? We should think. We have today, because tomorrow he is coming. When we have some guest coming in our house, how alert we get. Okay, what does he like to eat? How does he like to sleep? What does he like to wear? How should we interact with this particular person? What are the different facilities we are going to provide him? We should think. So we have more than 24 hours to think, to organize and execute. And then he is here for 7 days. Right? So it becomes our responsibility to take care of him. We have 10 more minutes. So we will hear one pastime of Sri Jagannath, which many of you may know, but may not know. There was a time in Jagannath Puri where Lord Jagannath and Balaram did not get any seva, no service at all for 12 years. Nothing. For 12 years. Shocking, isn't it? Jagannath Puri Dham, one of the four main dhams, he did not get any service for 12 years. It so happened that there was Lakshmi Puja. And Lakshmi Devi, she asked Jagannath, "My dear Lord, today is a special day for me. All the people outside are going to be performing Lakshmi Puja. Can I go outside to the streets, to the town of Jagannath Puri and see how they are worshipping me?" And Jagannath was like, "Of course. Go, spend time, hang out, go meet your devotees, enjoy." So Lakshmi Devi goes outside, she's seeing. So she starts with the Brahmins area, Kshatriya areas, Vaishya areas, Shudra areas. Okay, things are nice. Some people are doing better than others. Nothing special. And so she's okay going around, noticing, witnessing. So with some she's happy, with some not very happy. But overall she's in a happy mood. And going like that outside, so she crossed the Brahman areas, the Kshatriya areas, the Vaishya areas, the Shudra areas. And then suddenly she hears some very devotional bhajans from the untouchable areas. Where people which are untouchable, lower than Shudras. And she's inspired. Oh, somebody's worshipping me there. And she goes there and she sees this untouchable woman. She has cleaned her house very nicely and very perfectly. She's performing the Lakshmi Pujan with great devotion. Much better than any of the Brahmins in Puri. Right? With so much love and care and great devotion. Lakshmi Devi was so happy with her devotion that she appeared in front of this untouchable woman, gave her darshan, blessed her, ate the food that was offered, and gave her lots of opulence. She was so happy. She stayed there listening to all these bhajans. But when something nice is happening, there are always people who are going to talk bad about you. Right? Somehow or other, Lord Balaram got the news that Lakshmi Devi is eating in the house of untouchables. He became so angry. How can she do that? Untouchables. No. Now because she ate in the house of an untouchable, she herself is an untouchable now. Who? Lakshmi Devi. Untouchable. So he goes to Jagannath and says, your wife went and ate in the house of an untouchable. She's untouchable. She cannot enter the Jagannath temple. Jagannath is like, I'm sorry. What happened? She went and ate in this house of this untouchable girl. How can she do that? Maximum is a Shudra. Untouchable, she's going there. Devotees can be from any caste. Garuda is a bird. Just standing outside. That's a human being. No! Untouchables are untouchables for a reason. You cannot go to their house. If Lakshmi enters the Jagannath temple, I will leave. I cannot stay here. You decide. Either your wife or me. Problem. Lord Jagannath is thinking, what should I do? He goes outside the temple and he's waiting for Lakshmi Devi there. And Lakshmi Devi comes, she says, oh my dear Lord, you couldn't bear my separation, you're waiting for me outside? Let's go in. I need to cook. Lord Balaram must be very hungry. Why? Because all the cooking is done by her. Even today, the pandas, they just fill all the ingredients inside the pots and then they layer it on top of each other in 7 layers, put it on fire and leave. And it comes out perfectly cooked. Right? Nothing gets burned, nothing is overcooked. It's perfect. Because she's cooking. Oh, Lord Balaram must be very hungry. And when he's hungry, he may get angry. Let's go. Wait. What happened? Did you eat in the house of an untouchable? She was a great devotee. She is untouchable. How can you eat in her house? What? She's a great devotee. She offered me bhoga with devotion. Yes, but she's untouchable. You should not do that. You know the rules and regulations very nicely. She said, yes, I do. Was Shabri touchable? Didn't you eat what she had eaten? Like, bit into the fruit, gave it to you and you ate it? She was a tribal woman. She was untouchable. Didn't you eat? Yes, I did. So, what's the problem if I eat? No. You are the daughter-in-law of the house. You have to follow the rules and regulations. Oh, I have to follow, you don't have to? My lord, enough of jokes, let's go inside. I need to cook. No. You're untouchable and you have no rights to enter the Jagannath Puri temple. And with this, Lakshmi Devi was angry. She said, my lord, fine. If this is the rule, I'll go. I'll not enter the temple. But allow me to take everything that belongs to me. Jagannath is like, that's fair enough. You can take, whatever belongs to you. Okay, fine. Jagannath was like, okay, at least Lord Balaram will be happy. Lakshmi, I will figure out something. Lord Balaram will be happy. He comes, tells Lord Balaram, my wife left. It's okay, Jagannath, I can understand you're sad, but it's okay. Time heals everything. Don't worry. Let's go, sleep with me today, come. Sleep in my room. Jagannath, Balaram, they're sleeping in the same bed. Lord Balaram is taking care of them. They go to sleep. Next day morning, sun is already up. Lord Balaram opens his eyes like, what happened? Hey, Jagannath, get up, get up, get up, get up. Huh? What happened? The sun is already up. We didn't wake up. What happened to the pandas? They didn't wake us up. There was no musical instruments, no Vedic mantra chanting, no lighting of the incense. What happened? And forget all. Where's my bed? The jeweled golden bed, where is it? How come we are both sleeping on the floor? Don't know. Let's go get ready. They go. There is no water in the bathroom. What happened? Where is everybody? You're looking for people, looking for things. No clothes available, no jewelry available. Nothing. And by this time, it's already quite late in the morning. He's like, very hungry. Nobody's bringing anything. Let's go to the kitchen and find out. They go to the kitchen. Nothing there. Not even a grain of rice. What happened? Jagannath, what's wrong? What happened overnight? Lakshmi said she will take everything that belongs to her. So, all these things belong to her. She organizes all our services. It's everything under her command. She took everything. Oh, is it so? No problem. We'll manage. Without Lakshmi, how? Shut up! You think just because your wife leaves you, you cannot live? You went to Gurukul. You have been self-sufficient. We are independent. We can do it. Okay, let's go. 3 days they were inside the temple trying to figure out things. But Lord Balaram said, let's go out. We are hungry and thirsty for 3 days. The best we can do is let's go beg something. Somebody will give us some food. But rich man's son, they don't know how to ask. So they went to the house of the head pujari. They said, we will stand here. They somehow managed to get the dress of a Brahmin. And they went and they are like, they said, okay, we'll chant mantras. Then the head pujari will listen to our mantras. We'll get inspired. Invite us for lunch. Okay. So they are standing outside chanting all these beautiful Vedic mantras. Perfect meter, perfect pitch. The head pujari hears these mantras. Wow. Never heard anybody chant mantras so nicely. Great Brahmins, exalted personalities. He goes outside. He's just mesmerized. He thinks, okay, I must do something for these great Brahmins. But women, they are very united, right? Saraswati Devi already knew what happened to Lakshmi Devi. She inspired the pujari, the panda head pujari, and he becomes angry. He says, you too, what are you doing? You don't have tilak on your head and you're chanting Vedic mantras. How can you do this? You are bogus. Get out unless otherwise I will beat you with sticks. Huh? What happened? Yeah. Left. Lord Balaram was so angry. And Lord Jagannath says, I know unless Lakshmi comes back, this is the way how we are going to be treated. And Lord Balaram gets even more angry. Every time, what is this? Lakshmi, Lakshmi, Lakshmi. Get out, I will live myself. No, brother, please. Don't throw me out. My wife is already gone. If you also leave me, where will I go? Okay, stay. Sorry, Jagannath. I'm just hungry, and because of that, I get angry. Sorry. Okay. Like that, they travel for 12 years. Any well they would touch, water would dry up. Any food they will touch, it will fly away. Why? Because all the demigods are under the control of Lakshmi. She is the Yogamaya running the entire universe. 12 years passed. They got not a grain of rice, not a drop of water. Finally, one day, Sri Hanuman came. Says, my Lord, enough. I cannot handle this. Allow me to bring food and water for you. I don't care for anything. He has the capacity. Right? He can defeat all the demigods in one shot. He says, I can't handle this. And Jagannath says, no. There is a purpose behind this. Don't stop Lakshmi from doing what she's doing. Okay, fine. And it's going on. 12 years, they are hungry, thirsty, tired, sitting down under a tree. Nothing to do, because they know, they are convinced they are not going to get their food or water in this lifetime. And they are God. They don't die. So like, finished. We are not getting anything. And then Narada Muni, he takes the form of a Brahman. He comes and he sits down next to and he starts praising. Such a beautiful, tasty sweet rice. What rasamalai. What sandesh. Aha. What flavors of the sabjis. And Krishna Balaram, they are thinking, where did you eat all this? You're hungry? Yeah. Beggars? Yes. There is a very merciful lady, not very far away from here, on the banks of the river, of the ocean. She's distributing food to all the poor beggars. If you go there, you will get to eat. Okay. Krishna and Jagannath Baladev, they go there. And Lord Balaram sees, this temple looks exactly like Jagannath Mandir. Same to same. Nice. And they go inside. Immediately, Lakshmi Devi could feel the presence of the Lord. She says, my Lord has come after 12 years to my doorstep. And they said, we heard there is some, food for life happening over here. Can we eat something? Can we get something to eat? And the servants, they said, yeah, sure, have a seat. Lakshmi Devi sends a message. This is a house of an untouchable. Will you eat in this house? What Balaram says, just give us raw materials. We will cook ourselves. We are Brahmins. We'll cook ourselves. Sure. Provided them all the ingredients. And then Lakshmi Devi says, she's talking to Agni Dev. Says, if I have been chaste to my husband, you should not ignite. For hours, Jagannath and Balaram, they are trying to blow on the fire and ignite some fire. But only thing comes out is smoke. Finally, after a few hours, Lord Balaram was like, I can't handle this anymore. If I lose my caste, I don't mind. I want food. Give me some food. So, you will eat something cooked by an untouchable? Yes. Just give it to me. But then, they were sent, their servants came, gave them a good bath, dressed them in their favorite clothes, Lord Jagannath in yellow, Lord Balaram in blue, gave them their ornaments, dressed them very nicely. And then, Chappan Bhog, Raj Bhog comes, and they are eating, eating, one after other. And all the servants, they got tired of serving. Heaps and heaps and heaps of bhoga is offered. And everything these two people are eating. What these people are eating? They are all tired, sweating. Oh. And Lakshmi Devi is constantly cooking. Finally, when they were satisfied, Lord Balaram says, wow, such good food. So nice. So tasty. It tastes just like Lakshmi's cooking. And then he like, wait a minute. This place just looks like Jagannath temple. We are dressed in the same way how we would be dressed in Jagannath temple. The cooking tastes exactly how Lakshmi cooks in Jagannath temple. Did we come to Lakshmi's house? And he says, Jagannath. And during their 12 years, they also met this untouchable woman while they were traveling. And they saw how devoted she was, how devotional she was. And at that time, Lord Balaram had said, I grab my ears, I beg for forgiveness. Lakshmi Devi was not wrong in accepting the bhoga from this particular woman because she was such a devotee. So therefore, now he tells Jagannath, go in the inner chambers, bring Lakshmi. We will go together to Jagannath temple. So Jagannath goes. Lakshmi Devi sees Jagannath for the first time in 12 years. And tears are gliding down from both sides. Lord Jagannath says, Lord Balaram accepts his mistake. Please, come to Jagannath temple. She says, no, I cannot come. Why? He says, because you yourself say that all the living entities in this universe, in the material world, they are your part and parcel. If they are all your part and parcel, how can there be hierarchy? Unless and until you allow the Brahmins and the untouchables to eat in the same line, I am not coming to Jagannath temple. And Lord Jagannath says, your desire would be fulfilled. Narad Muni appears at that time. He said, my mother, this entire pastime of the Lord was created just for this particular point, so that the untouchables also have the permission to come and take darshan of Lord Jagannath, to come and eat prasadam on the same level as the Brahmins. For this particular reason, Jagannath and Balaram suffered for 12 years. And Lakshmi Devi was so happy. She said, my Lord, we must go now. And they all went together, Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra, Lakshmi Devi, they all came. And then, the prasadam was served. One pot. The Brahmins and the untouchables, they ate from the same pot. Even today, there was one devotee, I don't know, for some reason, Western devotees are not allowed to go inside Jagannath temple. But if you ask for prasad, they will bring it to you. And there was one devotee, he ate like this, touching his mouth all the way inside. He stick his fingers, he put his fingers back inside. He ate like that in front of the panda, eating like this. And says, eat, want to eat? And this panda, without a hesitation, just took that Mahaprasad, ate it. Yes, eating is not a problem. Don't go inside. Okay, so it's 9 o'clock. We are 10 minutes over time. Jagannath Baldev, Subhadra Maharani ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Samaveda Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo.